Hello,
Garry, welcome.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
What's up today, Yasser?
Yes, I wanted to ask you the same thing. How are you, Garry? What is up with you? What have you been doing?
I'm fine. I'm just, I'm counting decisive games in the tournament. So
You need one hand.
trying to reach high five.
Yes. Nice. But Garry, it's not through lack of effort. It's just
No,
that
absolutely not.
the players are accurate.
This is a very important point. This is what people very often don't understand. That it just shows that opponents are just deserve each other. So you look at the computer score. So it's very often 98, 99. So it's the precision,
yeah.
Which means they play good chess.
They do.
And a lot of it's bad. It's bad luck for viewers, for the audience,
right.
Because it ends up with draws and no blood is spilled. But again, you can't blame them for not trying.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I've heard some people on Twitter saying that it's to do with a risk aversion, that the top players these days are just not inclined to take risks. Do you agree with that opinion?
No. Now, can you be more specific? Because again, Twitter audience, often just it's comprised of chess fans, and they're just looking for all romantic chess. There's fight, blood all over the board. Now, but could we be more specific? What kind of risk? So yes, you can probably blame them for not playing very sharp openings. Okay. The only decisive game so far, reportedly King's Indian. That's by in the computer era, that's already a decisive mistake. So, but otherwise, again, they're trying. How you can force players to do moves that are not recommended by the computer, because they all prepare it with machines,
right.
And you should blame probably the development of machines as much as the players' unwillingness to go against machines' advice.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, today, for example, to the point that you were making, Garry, the game between MVL and Nepo came and he played a very challenging, risky defense with bishop c5, bishop a7, and tried to engage some sharp lines with his opponent, and the MVL just shut it down on move 9
yes,
with d takes e5.
Yes, sir. Again, I'm out of professional chess, but I think I could recognize that eventually with reverse moves order, they reached a famous theoretical position, what was black bishop on a7.
Yes.
I think that was a very interesting idea, because I think it just, it neutralizes a4, White's main idea. It's the same position. But he changed the move order, and he had a bishop on a7 instead of b6.
Right.
And I think MVL couldn't find anything wrong with this new structure, and he just took on e5, which is totally, it's very innocuous. So you don't do it with bishop on b6.
Right. Exactly.
And so that should be give credit, and Nepo, came up with a relatively simple idea. It's not that he invented, in a bicycle, but still playing bishop c5 and then bishop a7 and then b5.
Right.
That's an interesting moves order.
Exactly.
And it's confused them with MVL.
Garry, this is the Sinquefield Cup. Obviously, it's the end of the 2023 tour. We'll be crowning a champion. It seems like Fabiano Caruana has taken all of the mystery out of who's going to be the Grand Chess Tour champion. Your perspective as the organizer, it's your brainchild. How do you see this year? Are you satisfied with the Grand Chess Tour and what it has evolved into?
Look, I'm very happy with the fact that we're already here for so many years.
Yeah.
So when it started in 2015, it was just, it's another try. And as we know, many tries in the world of chess, they just, they show up a lot of promise, and then just, lost all the excitement, all the steam, and run out.
Right.
As of today, I think we could see that this is the most prestigious classical event in the world. So now even chess.com is covering it. Yeah. So again, it's a very important element now of the modern chess world, because it's so easy to lose the connection between professional chess players and classical chess. And I think Sinquefield Cup and the whole Grand Chess Tour keeps this connection, where we have classical, rapid, blitz, and we have huge interest. So everybody wants to play. And okay, Magnus doesn't play the whole cycle, but he plays rapid,
Right.
and blitz. So it's a major event, and it has two very strong sponsors on both sides of Atlantic, and we will continue. And again, I think it's very promising. Given FIDE now recognize the importance, because it's being included in their very very complex system of qualification. I still couldn't figure it out, but I know, somehow these results are being counted. But as you said, it's unfortunate for chess fans, but it's a very natural development of this year events, because Fabiano was the most stable, has most stable performance. Yeah, just every year very very solid. It's very impressive. Because now it's just so easy to play one tournament well, and then just you lose your interest or concentration. And again, he's no longer that young, so by even by standards of this tournament. So, but his performance is quite impressive, and that's why, I mean, unless something very dramatic and negative to him happens in the next few days, so we know the outcome.
Exactly.
And well, looking to the future, I mean, what do you hope to see for the next Grand Chess Tour in 2024?
Look, I don't think we have to invent, just something brand new. It's the model. If the tap ain't leaking, you shouldn't fix it. I think it's a working model, and I think that we will just keep up with what we already developed. Ideally, we would like probably to add one more event, so one more a rapid event, but just to increase number of players who can participate.
Right.
The problem is that the FIDE calendar is so messy, and there's so many events, so that's why you don't want to to make players overwork.
Exactly.
So, but I would say that one more event, rapid, it's event in somewhere in Europe, in Western Europe probably, would be a good idea, because you see now we have kind of a gap, because we have Eastern Europe and the United States. So it's amazing that nothing happens between Warsaw and London.
Right. I remember we had a wonderful event in Africa. I think it was a rapid and blitz event there, Garry. That extra event.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, but it was really nice. It was really nice. If you could revive that, Garry. Yeah,
look, African continent is a little bit now just it's a risky place for organizers because sponsors, because it's let's say politically unstable. I think it will be difficult. I just have to be honest. But again, my first interest would be to do something in Western Europe. Still, we have, this huge portion of the world of chess with so many registered players. Probably the highest number of registered players per capita. Right. So it's not having any Grand Chess Tour events. There was a period we had events in Paris.
Yes.
Now it's no longer there. Yeah. London, Paris, and now it's a big empty spot on our map.
Exactly. Peter, join in the conversation. I know that you and Garry enjoy your Fischer random chess games together.
Well, Garry tends to enjoy them more than I do. I don't think I've ever achieved 50% in our training. So,
yeah. So what's happening today?
Yes, exactly. Well, we unfortunately MVL and Nepo. They have a very balanced position. This balanced ending, rook and bishop.
I think this one is about
to even end as we speak. Yeah.
Yeah, in a repetition. So nothing's happening there. We think Levon. Oh, pardon me. Let's just go to the game of Richie versus Anish. Again, pretty
balanced. I wanted to ask Garry, because I think his opinion will be the definitive one on this as on many other positions. Just how much better does Garry think Levon is?
Yes, this is that was also that wasn't the position. It was this one, Garry.
Bishop now at the board.
Dark squared bishop for Levon against Ali Reza's knight on c5.
The problem is, the problem is since I'm watching it online, so I'm few moves. I'm 50 minutes behind.
There's a delay for you.
Unless you're willing to reveal the mystery, I think it's a problem because.
Sorry, Garry, we don't. We're talking fair play.
I'm on move 12.
You're some way behind then, and
yes,
perhaps...
I'm behind. I suspect I know what's happened. Probably, he took on c3 eventually, and it's. But again, I can hardly give my my opinion because it's you definitely have position probably at move 16 or 17 now.
Okay, so indeed you're right. Bishop b2 for white on move 12, d5.
Yes.
C takes d5, bishop takes c3.
d3, bishop takes c3.
No, d6. D6.
D6. D6, yes.
Intermezzo, queen takes d6, queen takes c3, queen e7, d takes c5, knight takes c5. So it's two bishops, but the bishop on b2 it's very nice diagonal. We like white. And since you've played so many matches with Karpov, you would have a very good feel for the advantage for white. How big is it, this advantage in your mind?
Yeah, but black is very solid, and
I'm thinking specifically of game 24 in Spain, the one you had to win.
Yes, but it was more about psychology than about the quality of the position. So this is not.
Keeping the pieces alive, keeping the position alive.
I'm thinking now. Maybe white should play something queen e5.
Me too. So shockingly, Levon's choice was knight f3 to e5. But I agree, queen e5, just keeping...
Queen e5 was interesting because it keeps, just black under pressure. And potentially you have probably something like knight h4 and knight f5, as I don't know if it works or not.
Right.
Because, for instance, after queen e5, if it's my move, I start playing knight h4, bishop g2, knight f5. Probably winning.
And knight takes g7 or knight h6.
No, knight h6, queen. No, knight h6, queen takes f6.
Nice. Yeah, queen e5. Let me just show to our audience how we could lose this in abracadabra in just a few moves with the black side. Bishop takes.
Knight f5.
Knight f5. Queen b7, defending the bishop.
b7, knight h6 check.
Oh, very nice.
You know this one, Jovi.
Yep.
You studied this as a young lady. And there you go. So, queen e5, a little bit surprising for us was the choice of Levon, which was knight e5.
It's probably still better for white because, then eventually pawn comes on f3 and black is under pressure. But it's unpleasant. But I think queen e5 could be even more ambitious.
Exactly.
Yeah, more ambitious.
Garry, we talked a little bit about the Grand Chess Tour, the history, the future, but more specifically, your history. I saw you did a video series, Chess 24 with Garry on the YouTube. It looks like a really marvelous interview that you had with Levitov. What chess projects are you working on?
Look, it's we finished the recording now, so that's I think it's the 17 or 18th series been released, and it was memorable because I had to go throughout my early years, and that's all his suggestion. So we started. It's just the idea came up early, but eventually it's happened after my mother passed away. So it's for her memory. So that's because there's so many events there connected directly or indirectly to to the role she played in my life. And that took almost 2 years of recording. Because he kept cutting it, so otherwise it would be probably not 24, but it's just 100 hours. And the series, they kept growing, and every time I recorded something, I thought, I forgot this, I forgot that. So if I had to do it again now, so it will be probably again quite different, because there's so many events that I wanted to include, but then just you think about it aftermath, so that you already recorded as damn, I just forgot this one.
For me, it's such a wonderful personal memoir, and it's just sort of like I would have loved every world champion, from Alexander Alekhine to Manuel Lasker to Bobby Fischer, to have such a personal trip down your memory lane as your career. Because personally, congratulations. I found it to be outstanding. And
as you can guess, now I'm doing much less chess than other things these days. So I wish I had more time, but we have different war games now in the world.
Yeah, Garry, thank you so much for joining us.
So I'll be back at the last round, and of course I will be at the opening ceremony, at the closing ceremony.
Oh,
very good.
We
look
forward to seeing you then, and thank you very much, Garry, for joining us.
Okay.
Thank you. For those of you, again, who just didn't understand the inner exchange I was having with Garry, on YouTube, there's a marvelous, marvelous series where Garry just talks in a very personal, easy, relaxed way about his whole